Hey guys, welcome back to the Spector Creative channel. I'm Scott Toy Guru Neitlich, longtime toy maker and toy collector. Want to talk today about something interesting going on in the toy industry. There is a Mattel Wicked Doll, specifically Glinda, or is it still Glinda, and then it becomes Glinda. I've seen Wicked. Um, a doll got released by Mattel, and the URL on the back of the package leads to a adult website. All right, well, let's just spell it out. The name of the movie is Wicked. The correct URL for the website for the movie is wickedmovie.com. The URL on the back of the package is wicked.com, which is an adult film making company that makes pornography. So how in the world did a pornographic website wind up on the back of a Mattel toy? Well, I can explain that, because that was my job at Mattel. Well, not putting websites on packaging, but my first job in the toy industry before I moved over into marketing and toy design was as a copywriter. I was a writer in Hot Wheels. That was what I was first hired to do at Mattel before I transferred into marketing to handle Matty Collector. And that is, it's the copywriter who is responsible for all the words that go on a package. So let me show you what I mean. So this is a copy doc for a toy. I actually just wrote this one up based on a Marvel Legends that I had on my desk for Darkhawk. So here is the all right. So here is the toy, right? So what I've done is I've taken this toy and I've reverse engineered it into a copy doc to show you what that looks like. All right, and so that's here. All right, so you can see you've got the placement for the logos, placements for the bio, placements for legal. All of this is where a packaging starts as a copy doc with the copywriter. Usually they're provided a lot of this information by the licensor. The legal lines, bios are sometimes provided by licensors, or sometimes they're written by copywriters. That happens too. Depends on which licensor you have. The more involved the licensor, the more copy they're going to provide. And then that copy document is then handed over to the graphic design team, or graphic designer. It's usually a partner. It's a copywriter and a graphic designer who work together. So as an example, Ryan Gleason was my graphic partner on Turbo Glow. So this was a line that he and I did together. I wrote the copy, he did the graphics. So I would first write my copy doc, which would indicate everything that needs to go onto that package, from inset shots to captions to logos to legal lines. And then the graphic designer would turn that into a beautiful looking visual file. The file then gets approved by legal and gets reviewed. The whole toy has multiple review stages, but the copy document usually is not reviewed. That's just passed from the copywriter to the graphic artist. And that's probably where the mistake happened, was the copywriter put the wrong website. It got passed along to the graphic designer, who just picked it straight up from the copy doc, and then it got put onto the toy. However, there are many, many gateways where this could have and should have been caught. Everything from package reviews to the full PP product review, where the entire product is reviewed. Unfortunately, a lot of times in the PP reviews, the packaging isn't reviewed as intensely as it should be. A lot of times the toy is just ripped out of the package and they're doing a PP review of the toy. So they'll take a toy, they'll pull on the arms and the head to make sure, pressure's right and nothing's breaking off, no small parts. They'll drop it on the floor to see if anything, again, small parts break off of it, and all of that. And a lot of times the packaging is just kind of glanced over and not reviewed for corrections. That's exactly where this problem happened. So the copywriter who put the wrong URL on the package missed it. I mean, it's understandable. You would go from Wicked Movie to just Wicked. I mean, it's an understandable mistake. However, it's still a big one, especially for both the movie studio and for the toy maker in this case. And while there's usually not a spelling grammar check done on the copywriter's document before it's passed on to the graphic designer, there are many, many gateways to pass once the packaging is created and once the final toy is created. There's multiple reviews of the graphics, and legal, the original copywriter, multiple people are going to read ideally every word on that package. But again, it's understandable how someone reading wicked.com as the website If they're not aware that that is a adult website and that the proper website was Wicked Movie, I could see how this could fall through. But there are many gateways to prevent things like this from happening. But that's how it happens: is a copywriter makes a human error, passes it along to the graphic designer, who puts it on the package, and if the error has is not something that just stands out. As an example, well, actually, what happens is when you catch an error, let me explain that. You do usually what's called an overlabel, which is when you instruct the factory to take a sticker and place it on the package over something else. And this is either to hide something or to replace copy. So as an example, yes, that was one. So if you look at the Green Goddess figure, you'll see there's an overlabel on it where her real name was replaced with the correct one. So that's so if it was caught, that is how something like this Wicked URL would have been fixed. Is they would have asked the vendor to put an overlabel on top. It's expensive because it's basically you're paying usually a penny or two per toy that has to be overlabeled. And if you're making 100,000 units, yeah, that can add up. It may be more than a penny, maybe 5 pennies, maybe a dime in today's economy. But yeah, it's expensive to overlabel, but there are times when it has to happen, and this would have been an example if it had been caught. So that's basically what happened. It was human error, but bigger so, it was missed in multiple reviews. There are absolutely reviews set up to catch things like this, and it's understandable. I think how you could miss something like this. It's not like the Wicked URL got replaced with if if it said something like anything from porn.com to firetrucks.com, that would have been more noticeable. But with the name of the URL being on the package being wicked.com, I could see how people could have just assumed that was correct, especially if you're not familiar with the adult site. And hey, maybe toy makers aren't as familiar. Maybe they're focused on toys and not porn. All right, so that's it. That's how it happened. That's how it could have been prevented, and that's what should have been done, the overlabeling, to stop this from getting to market. It's expensive, but it's the consequence of making an error, and human errors happen. All right, well, I hope this video helped explain what is going on and how in the world this Glinda doll wound up with a very inappropriate website URL on it. If you like this video, the best way to support the channel is to share these with others. So thank you for doing that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep those suggestions for topics coming. See you next time.